Hey guys, it's me, the Bombay Chef Varun Inamdar, and welcome to Rajshri Food. Today's episode is extremely special to all of us here. Rajshri Production completes 75 years in the movies, and Rajshri Food completes 10 years. This is thanks to all of you who've been showing us so much love for so many years. The recipe that I'm going to show you today is the best of both worlds.
Mangal Bhavan Amangal Hari Drabahu Sudasrath Adir Bihari Drabahu Sudasrath Adir.
You guessed it right. The recipe is Kachori or Amchoor ki Chutney. Let's begin. I'm of course going to divide this recipe in 3 to 4 different components. The first one is getting the dough right. Now making the dough is very simple. All you need is all-purpose flour, also known as refined flour, to which you can add ghee or oil. We add in salt, we add water and knead that into a soft dough. I've done that already and I've kept that under a damp muslin cloth. Let this rest. The second component is making the Amchoor ki Chutney, which we are going to begin the recipe with. The third component is getting the stuffing right. The fourth component is getting the kachori shape right. And the fifth component is frying the kachori and of course serving it later. The dough is done and ready. Let's begin with Amchoor ki Chutney. The first thing, a pan on medium flame, to which we're going to add in Amchoor. Now you get Amchoor or dried mango in 2-3 different forms. The first one is of course a powder, which we all know. The second Amchoor is the chips of Amchoor that you get in dehydrated form. In case you cannot lay your hands on the powder, we need to soak these strips overnight exactly the way we would soak tamarind. Remove the pulp and there you go. This is quite easier. We take Amchoor powder, to which we add in water and make like a slurry or a paste. It's easier to use a whisk and whisk this mixture till it is lump free. We'll add in all the water. Well, this is the only time when you would actually need a whisk. Let's keep the whisk aside and follow this up with sugar. Now in this recipe, I'm using sugar as well as jaggery for 2 reasons. Sugar, of course, is for sweetness, and jaggery is to bring in that earthiness into this recipe, which is very important. While sometimes jaggery tends to be slightly on the sour side, and that's also one of the reasons why I've added sugar in this recipe, because we need that perfect balance between sourness and sweetness in this chutney. Time to add in golden raisins, which are completely optional, but trust me, it works wonderfully well, especially in this chutney. The next ingredient that goes in are cashew nuts. Now you can use cucumber seeds, you can use watermelon seeds, you can use cashew nuts, choice is completely yours. Or you know what? You can also leave these out. Let's add in some flavors and spices, beginning with Garam Masala powder. Now, all these little ingredients will add in that wonderful flavor note into this recipe. Black salt, Fennel Seeds untoasted. Let's follow this up with dried ginger powder, Cumin Seeds untoasted again, a touch of Red Chilli Powder for just kind of bringing in that balance of flavor. And finally, last but not the least, table salt. Let's mix this well and allow this to cook on medium to low flame for at least 15 minutes. Ensure that this does not stick to the sides or the bottom of the pan. Intermittently, keep scraping, keep stirring, and trust me, you get the most amazing Amchoor ki Chutney. Well, if you do not like these little bits in your mouth of fennel and cumin and things like that, you can also just kind of toast all of this lightly, powder this, and then sprinkle this on top. Keep the cashew nuts, keep the raisins, rest everything gets powdered. At this point in time, the color of the chutney looks very pale, almost the color of Amchoor. But slowly, when the jaggery starts melting, when all of this kind of starts cooking together, you'll realize this becomes deeper, denser, and that's exactly what we're looking at. It also gets that little touch of caramelization because of the jaggery. Remember that. While the chutney is cooking, let us move to the third component, which is getting the stuffing right. For the stuffing, I've taken an empty bowl to which I'm going to add in gram flour, to which I'm going to add in Moong dal, gram, which is soaked in water for at least 3 to 4 hours. Let's add in dried fenugreek leaves, kasuri methi. Along with this, vegetable oil, extremely important in this recipe, red chilli powder, asafoetida or hing, garam masala powder, baking soda. Now mind you, this ingredient again is very important in this recipe, especially in this component, because if you remember the recipe, while kneading the dough, when I narrated the whole recipe of the dough, there was no baking soda in that recipe, and that's intentional. That's exactly how we want it. The baking soda goes in the stuffing, and you'll see how it kind of reacts while getting fried. Finally, last but not the least, salt as required. Let's mix all of this together without the addition of water. Let's move on to the next component, and that is shaping the kachoris correctly, for which of course we have the dough which is rested well. Let's knead that one more time and pinch out lemon-sized balls. Well, shaping this is extremely easy. What we need to do is press this from the sides like so, keeping the center slightly thicker. Also, while doing this, what I'm going to do is pinch a little piece from the dough, flatten it out, and place it in the center. Well, this piece of dough in a lot of ways gives this kachori literal double protection, because that way it does not burst into the oil. Also, what happens when you roll this does not get punctured from the other side. Very important. Take a little bit of this filling. Let's get all of this together like so and press this back. Press this like so, and with the help of a rolling pin, we roll it like so. Now this way, if you realize and notice, the kachori does not leach its oil or its flavor on the outside. Let's make some more. While shaping the kachoris, do not forget that the chutney is still getting cooked. Give it one quick stir, and with this, of course, the flame. The kachoris are shaped and ready. The oil is also heating right here. The idea here is to press the edges like so and drop these kachoris in not so hot oil. The oil which is just kind of beginning to heat. It's important to press the sides and drop this in. The whole idea of dropping the kachoris in not so hot oil is that basically the top layer is almost like a short crust pastry. It needs to start cooking slowly, low heat for a long amount of time. So this will take at least 15 to 17 minutes for the kachoris to get fried, and also in the whole process, these will puff up because of the addition of a leavening agent, in this case, baking soda. At this point in time, do not start stirring or flipping sides of the kachori. You slowly want the temperature of the oil to start rising, and now that the kachoris are sunken to the base, with the temperature going higher, the kachoris will also start rising to the top. And that's where you flip it the first time. Remember this. Generally, while frying, I always say do not overcrowd the oil, because that way the temperature kind of, just drops, and you don't want that to happen. But in this case, you actually want the temperature to drop. You want it to slowly start rising, and that's the beauty of frying a kachori. Once these kachoris all come up to the top, you'll see that they're just kind of smiling at you, exactly the way Mr. Anupam Kher smiles while making those kachoris in the film. If you see, so beautifully, he's just enjoying, he's all out, all there, smiling with joy. He's cooking it for his family and his friends. And that's exactly how I wish all of you across the globe enjoy cooking food.
वाह प्रोफेसर साहब वाह, क्या कचौरियां बनाई हैं आपने।
अरे अमचूर की चटनी के साथ खाइए चौबे जी, मथुरा की कचौड़ियों को भूल जाएंगे।
With this, our kachori is fried and ready. Let's pull these out of the hot oil and transfer these on an absorbent tissue paper. The next step is the simplest of them all. Serve this with Amchur ki chutney. And with this, of course, the flame. With this, our khasta kachori and Amchur ki chutney both are done and ready. Try these together and trust me, there's no more joy than this. On this note, thank you very much to all of you across the globe for showing so much love to Rajshri Productions, Rajshri Films and Rajshri Food, of course, over the last 75 years and in our case, the last 10 years. Go through all the Rajshri films and I'm sure you don't have to do that anymore because you know all the films at the back of your hand, but pull out recipes from those films and show them to me. I shall recreate them for you. This is me, the Bombay chef, Varun Inamdar, signing off. Bye for now.